The warmth of my name is Lucy. I'm 10 years old. I live in a tiny apartment with my family. My grandmother is the gentlest person I know. She looks after me and my younger brother, Tom, who is 7. Our house is small, but it is always filled with warmth and love. We don't have a lot of money, yet we are truly happy when we're together. We look out for one another every single day. Grandmother works from home. With soft wool and quick fingers, she knits scarves, caps, and sweaters. She never takes a break. Her needles keep moving. From morning till night. Every weekend she carries whatever she has made to the little market down the street. People love her creations because they are cozy and beautifully made. I love sitting near her while she works. Her hands dance like magic in the silent room. Every evening, Grandmother reads us bedtime stories. She settles into the old rocking chair in the corner. Tom and I curl up beside her under the same blanket. Her voice is slow, sweet, and full of care. I shut my eyes and let every word wrap around me like a hug. Those stories make us feel peaceful and safe. Tom always grins and squeezes my hand. These are the moments I treasure most in the whole world. One morning everything felt different. Grandmother couldn't get out of bed. She pressed her hand to her back and whispered, "It hurts too much today." She couldn't walk or even sit without wincing. Her face looked pale and worn out. Tom got frightened and clung to my arm. I was scared too, but I tried to stay calm. I brought her a cup of warm tea. I tucked a blanket around her legs and helped her lie back. She gave me a tired smile. I sat beside her, holding her hand, and told her to sleep. My eyes fell on the basket of wool by the door. It was full of finished scarves waiting to be sold. I knew I had to do something. I ran to our kind neighbor, Aunt Sarah, who lives next door. I explained everything. She placed a gentle hand on my shoulder and said, "Come, we'll go to the market together." We packed all the scarves into a large bag. I pulled on my coat and boots. My stomach felt fluttery, but I was ready. The streets were chilly and crowded. We walked slowly, carrying the heavy bag between us. Aunt Sarah found me a small table and a stool. I arranged the scarves neatly and stood behind them. Trying to sound brave, I called out, "Hand-knitted scarves, soft and warm." My voice trembled a little, but I kept smiling. A woman stopped and picked up a red scarf. "How much?" she asked. I glanced at Aunt Sarah. She whispered the price. I repeated it, and the lady happily paid. She thanked me, and I thanked her back. A little spark of pride lit up inside me. Soon more customers came. Some just looked, many bought. A father chose 2 scarves for his little girls and said they felt perfect. I wrapped them carefully and handed them over with a big smile. I stood there for hours. My fingers grew icy, but my heart stayed warm. By evening the bag was almost empty, and my pocket was full of money. Aunt Sarah patted my back and said, "You did wonderfully, Lucy." We walked home under the dark sky. The wind was sharp, yet I felt strong that I had helped my family today. The moment I stepped inside, Tom rushed to me and hugged my legs. I lifted him up and hugged him tight. Grandmother was still in bed, but her eyes brightened when she saw me. I sat beside her and placed the money in her hand. She touched my cheek gently and whispered, "Thank you, my brave girl." That night I helped Tom with his homework, made dinner, and washed the dishes. I was exhausted, but I didn't mind. I had to be the strong one now. Before sleeping, I sat by the window and gazed at the stars. Fear had lived in my chest that morning, but it was gone now. I was learning how to care for the people I love. The next day, and the days after that, I woke up early. I made tea, tidied the house, and went back to the market whenever there were scarves to sell. Snow began to fall, blanketing everything in white. People lingered longer at my table, and the scarves sold even faster. Each evening I returned with money and stories. Grandmother's smiles grew wider, Tom's hugs grew tighter, Slowly, very slowly, color returned to grandmother's cheeks. One afternoon, Tom showed me a drawing, the three of us at the market, holding hands, smiling. I pinned it on the wall above grandmother's bed. A few days later, grandmother was strong enough to sit in her old chair again. That night she opened a storybook. Her voice was still soft, but it filled the room like it used to. Tom clapped. I leaned against her shoulder, and everything felt right again. Our little home is still small. We still don't have much money, but it is warm, it is full of love, and now I know, as long as we have each other, we have everything we need. Fast this time I brought 2 new scarves. Grandmother had made them slowly with soft purple wool. I put them on the table and hoped people would like them. The market was busy. People walked fast with red noses and big coats. I called out with a smile. Warm scarves made with love. Some people stopped and looked. A young girl picked up the purple scarf. She smiled and asked, "Did you make this?" I said, "My grandmother did." She said it was beautiful and gave me money. She wore it right away and waved goodbye. A boy came next. He had no hat, and his ears were red. I gave him a discount, and he bought a scarf. He said, "Thank you." I felt proud again. That day, I sold every scarf. I felt light and happy. As I walked home, I thought of grandmother and Tom. I thought of how much we had done in a short time. At home, I put the money in a small box near the table. Grandmother saw it and said, "You are doing well, Leah." I hugged her gently. I said, "Because you taught me how." Later that night, I sat by the window again. I looked at the moon and the quiet street. Snowflakes fell like feathers. I thought about everything that had happened. I was not just a girl anymore. I was learning how to care, how to work, and how to lead. I was still scared sometimes, but I was also brave. I was growing day by day. One morning, I woke up early and made breakfast. The sun was shining and the snow on the ground sparkled. It was a good sign. Grandmother sat in her chair and drank tea. Slowly. She looked stronger. Her back still hurt, but she could move a little more. Tom was doing a school project. He needed colored paper and glue. I said we would go get some together after lunch. After we ate, we put on our coats and boots. I held Tom's hand as we walked to the small shop near the park. The snow crunched under our feet. The sky was clear and blue. In the shop, Tom picked red, blue, and green paper. He found some glitter too. He was very excited. I paid for the things, and we walked back slowly talking about his project. At home, he worked at the table. He cut shapes and glued them on the paper. He made a picture of our family, grandmother, me, and him standing under a big sun. I smiled as I watched him. He said, "You are the sun, Leah." I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I hugged him and said, "And you are my light." He smiled and kept working. That evening, we sat together on the floor. Grandmother told us a short story. Her voice was still soft, but we listened carefully. It was a story about a little fox who helped his family during a cold winter. Tom loved the part where the fox found food under the snow. He said, "Like you, Leah?" I laughed and said, "Maybe I'm part fox." The next day, I went to see Miss Sarah. She had more wool for us. She also gave me some warm socks she had knitted. She said, "For you, for all your hard work." I thanked her and felt my eyes fill with tears. She was kind and always ready to help. We talked for a while. Then I walked home with the wool and the socks in my bag. When I got home, I gave the socks to grandmother. She touched them and smiled. "So warm," she said. I gave her the new wool too. She looked at the colors and said, "These will make beautiful scarves." I helped her sit by the table and put the basket next to her. Her hands moved slowly, but she began to knit again. That moment felt special. Each day after that, we found a new rhythm. I went to the market, helped Tom, and cleaned the home. Grandmother knitted when she could. We laughed more. We ate simple meals together. The house felt full again, not full of things, but full of care. We helped each other. We didn't have much, but we had love, and it was enough. One night, I sat alone in the kitchen. I looked at the small box with money. It was not full, but it was growing. I thought about how far we had come. I remembered the first cold morning, the fear and the worry. Now things were different. We were stronger. I was stronger. I felt ready for anything that might come next. 1 week passed and grandmother stood on her own. Her steps were small, but she smiled with joy. Tom jumped up and down, clapping his hands. I helped her sit near the window with her warm scarf. She said, "I'm getting stronger." The room felt warmer and the light looked brighter. We were all happy, and it felt like spring had finally come again. That morning she picked up her needles once more. She held the soft blue wool and began to knit slowly. Her hands moved gently, but they didn't shake anymore. I sat beside her and watched with joy and pride. "You did so much," she said to me softly, looking at me with love. I smiled wide. She was proud of me, and I was so proud of her too. Later, I cleaned the kitchen and found an old notebook. It was full of grandmother's scarf designs. She had drawn flowers, stars, leaves, and hearts. I showed it to her, and she smiled with warmth. "These were my best ideas," she said softly. Then she gave the notebook to me. I held it close, feeling like I had found a treasure. Tom worked on a new drawing that afternoon. He made a picture of our little family. Grandmother was in her chair knitting a red scarf. I stood beside her holding a basket of wool. Tom was laughing under a big sun. I hung the picture near the kitchen door. It made me smile every time I saw it. It reminded me of how far we had come together. We all went out together on Friday morning. The snow was gone and the park was green again. Grandmother walked slowly, holding my arm carefully. Tom ran ahead, chasing birds and laughing. We sat on a wooden bench in the sun. The air was fresh and soft. It was a perfect day, full of light and hope. We felt like we had everything we needed. Back at home, we made hot tea and toasted bread. Grandmother told a new story she had remembered. It was about a girl who helped her family with love and wool. I listened and laughed. The story sounded just like us. Tom looked at me and whispered, "That's you, Leah." I said nothing, but my heart was full of love and joy. That night, I sat by the window alone. The room was quiet and the stars were bright. I opened a small notebook and began to write. I wrote about the market, the scarves, the snow, and our smiles. I wanted to remember everything we had faced. I wanted our story to stay alive forever in my heart. The next morning, I went to the market again. This time, I brought some of my own designs. People smiled and asked who made them. I said, "My grandmother taught me how to make these." Some people bought scarves and some gave kind words. I felt proud, not just for me, but for us. We had done this together. Back home, Tom was doing his homework at the table. Grandmother was knitting near the window. I sat down and looked around. The small apartment was full of love and warmth, not perfect, not rich, but warm and full of care. I knew everything would be okay as long as we had each other. I closed my eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. I thought of everything we had been through. I thought of tomorrow, the days to come, and how we would face them together. I was not afraid anymore. I had learned how to care, how to work, and how to grow. I was ready for what was next with love, hope, and the strength we had gained as a family.